Hi, welcome to the Premier Power Hour podcast. I'm Zach.
You got Billy here as well. It's going to be a good one today.
I think so.
I feel it. We're going to talk about sustainability.
We sure are. Going green.
A big, giant topic with many facets, many different avenues to discuss.
Lot of things we can talk about because it's a super important topic, not just in the packaging industry, but in the world as well.
Yep.
Billy, what interaction do you have with sustainability within your space in regards to bin boxes?
Right. I kind of have I have two thoughts on that. It's sort of a professional level and a personal level. The great thing about bin boxes, of course, they are predominantly made out of corrugated.
Sure.
So they are inherently recyclable, making them somewhat sustainable. We when we have large projects going on, we will outsource whatever area that we're in. We will set up with a local recycler. Just the product that we're getting in, that we're building into bin boxes, of course, will contain a decent amount of dunnage, and we have some waste. So we do everything we can to recycle as much corrugated material as possible, which is a good thing. And then on a personal level, I'm always thinking to myself, and it's something that I struggle with. Is, we travel a lot. I'm always on the road, and I find myself buying a lot of water bottles.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
And I know that's not the best way to go, but you're on a construction site or whatever. Not a lot of places to get water readily available, and I'm in town for a week, and when I leave, I'm cleaning out the rental car and realize there's 30 water bottles
Sure.
in the back. It's like, I gotta do something different here.
Yeah.
I gotta bring a reusable bottle that I can fill up instead of doing this sort of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty obvious that's not a great way. That is not sustainable.
That's not.
No. And personal choices like that can go a long way. But then think about all of the choices that businesses can make to help improve.
Absolutely. And that's a huge conversation that I have being in sales that I have almost daily, is understanding what a company's sustainability platform is, what their green initiatives are, and how that relates to their packaging. Because it's a huge topic. It's top of mind for so many people. And because it's a conversation they're having in their personal lives. And so why wouldn't they be carrying that into the places that they work? And so there's so many different ways that you can, in the packaging industry and for your company, become far more sustainable and go more green. And so we have a couple different ways that we can do that, a couple different tips and tricks. One of them is we got a big box right here. It's a big square flat box.
The big Premier box.
We got a smaller Premier box right here. Now,
just to basically illustrate that you can put the same thing in a smaller box.
Yep.
A lot less wasted space.
So much less wasted space. And this is the easiest first step that you can make. So often what we'll see is a product that could go in a box that's this size, doesn't necessarily go in a box this big, but it goes in a box that's bigger, right-sizing your box. Let's just put it that way. People do not have the right-size box for the product that they're using, which then means that they're using far more materials, they're putting in more dunnage, they're putting in more void filled, more things that might also not be fully recyclable.
Right.
And so the easiest way is to just right-size your box, right-size your bag. But the great thing about that is that the conversations that I'm having is when I'm asking them, okay, how much do you care about going green? How much do you care about being sustainable? The very next question is, okay, yeah, we care, but what does it cost?
Price. It's always going to be the driving force there, right?
Always. And this scenario of where you're downsizing or right-sizing your box is going to actually have a direct cost. It's going to improve your costs more often than not to reduce your box size, and because you're reducing the amount of material. There's not as much material that needs to be run through a plant, and so then that brings that savings to you. So quite literally, this first step and the easiest first step for people is also the most cost-effective step in terms of going green.
And obviously, something that Premier is very good at with our design teams and packaging engineers. That's kind of their job, right? They are designing whatever you're using that for, that product. They are designing the most efficient, protective, material efficient box possible.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what we're doing. I mean, my job title, I say I'm in sales, but my job title is a supply chain specialist. And so when I'm going into a warehouse and I'm understanding how their supply chain works, my very first motivation is to understand that and see how that can be improved, how that can be tweaked to become more operationally efficient. And far and away, one of the questions that we're always asking is, okay, why did you choose this box? Why did you choose this bag? Why are you using this type of packaging? And so inherently that in and of itself becomes a sustainable conversation, because you're looking at, can we put this in something that's smaller? Can this be more efficient? Can we get rid of our void fill? Because we don't need to. Because if you have a box that is perfectly designed to fit your product, you don't really need any extra void fill.
Right.
Which void fill in and of itself, segue,
is
a huge sustainability conversation. So we have some
another
of
item.
this.
You
have a couple. You have a couple props, right?
I forgot. We got everyone's favorite.
Everyone's favorite. There it is. If you
wrap.
know that sound, that is bubble wrap.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you. My wife insists on popping the giant air pillows.
Yeah.
Scares me every time.
Yep.
I think that a bomb's going off. But air pillows and bubble wrap are two solutions that can be converted to being sustainable very easily. And that's with paper like this. So one of our vendors, many of our vendors, but on one particular occasion out in Phoenix, I was with one of our vendors that we use for void fill. And they have machines that will take the paper and will crinkle it in a certain way that when it's stuffed into a box, will actually protect your package just as well as bubble wrap or air pillows will. And I think there's a common misconception with this, air pillows or bubble wrap that is the best way to have protective packaging. And for some products, maybe, but not necessarily. If you think that's the only way you can do it, you're wrong. There's ways that we can actually utilize paper, which is a sustainable and green option for you, that actually will solve that issue for you.
The point being that Premier can be a very valuable asset when having those conversations. We are there and have the expertise. Certainly, more people with more expertise than myself have that to talk to customers and guide them down the path of sustainability and more efficient packaging.
Absolutely. I mean, and it's not just we have options. I mean, besides that, another void fill solution is, packaging peanuts. Everybody's least favorite way of packaging, right? Why is that? Why
I
is
enjoy
that really?
peanuts. I know I
mean, if you're a human being that is not allergic to them, everybody loves peanuts.
peanuts.
But packaging peanuts, why does everybody dislike them?
Well, they go all over,
It's a huge problem. And it's styrofoam, and that's not recyclable.
We know. Yeah.
And so you have this huge mess, and all of this stuff is just going to go right in a landfill. They now have packaging peanuts, which are they're actually one of the most cost-effective void fill and protective packaging. Typically people don't like to use them because of the end user's feedback. However, they make a packaging peanut now that is made of cornstarch, and you can literally pour it into your sink, pour water over it, and it'll completely dissolve down the drain. Yeah. So we have Premier and our vendors have so many options for whatever your avenue is. Maybe your avenue is cold storage or cold chain processing, right? We're making recyclable sustainable green initiatives in that space, which has historically not been a sustainable and green space. So we have partners. We are also, as a company, just doing so much to be green and to have green products available because, frankly, the end user is asking for it. This is a worldwide. It is growing at. They've done studies, and worldwide, this is growing at 6% year over year.
Right.
And that's hundreds of billions of dollars of green packaging that's about year over year. So 6% might sound like a small number, but it is quite a large number.
I think of the overwhelming guilt that I feel. Not generally, but at the end of the holiday season,
Sure.
When I'm out back with a knife cutting up cardboard boxes from all the stuff you get during the holiday seasons, and all of that styrofoam, all of that void fill. And just as the end user, you got to think, oh, there's got to be a better way.
Absolutely.
There's got to be, and companies that care about that and want to project that to the end user, very, very important.
Absolutely. Well, I don't know if you're like me, but I know that whenever I order a product and it comes to me and I open up the packaging and I see this company is, they'll advertise this is a fully recyclable box or this is a fully recyclable refrigeration pack or something like that, compostable, biodegradable, whatever, what have you. Immediately in my mind, I associate their brand as a premier brand.
Right.
Yeah, I think that they're on a higher playing field than the other folks.
Almost like it's like the difference between regular and organic in the market.
Absolutely.
People look for that. Right?
Absolutely, yeah. And the studies show that people are willing to pay more for stuff that's sustainable. They're willing to pay more for stuff that's green. So you have not only the customer that's asking for it, the customer's also viewing your brand as a premier, more luxurious, better, whatever you want to call it, brand for using that kind of packaging and those kind of solutions. But you also have the hand that's kind of forced because a lot of governments, I know in Europe and here in North America and even Asia Pacific, the governments are cracking down on single-use plastic containers. They're making more initiatives that are forcing us to create more green and sustainable solutions. And so you combine both the bills and laws and regulations that are being passed from governments all around the world with the consumer that's crying for this kind of product, with also them believing that companies that utilize this type of product are better companies.
Right.
All across the board, it's a win-win. Because the question really is sustainability sustainable? I like what you did there. Yeah. And it has to be. Right. It's a trend that's not going away.
No. We have to keep it up, and we have to be part of the solution and not the problem. I'm always reminded. It annoys the heck out of me. If you're in December or January, and it's nasty cold outside. Mm-hmm. Probably can't
relate right now.
Can't
Phoenix,
relate being in Phoenix. Yeah. But here, you're dipping below freezing. It's in the teens or 20s, and you got that guy who says, I could use some of that global warming about right now. Yeah. I mean, that just, oh man, that gets me.
Yeah.
I really hate that.
Yeah. I don't think you're alone. And the thing is that I hear just that voice, which, by the way, is perfect. Yeah. I can see that guy. We've all seen that guy.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure what that has to do with sustainability, but I think you get what that's my little Earth Day kind of thing.
Absolutely. Well, the segue that I would make is that when somebody when somebody jokes about that,
right,
it irks people, rubs you the wrong way.
Yeah.
Because it's something that we all need to be conscious of and making efforts in, and so that's what we do here at Premier, and that's what a lot of the people that we work with, the vendors that we use, all of them care about that because ultimately, yes, from I don't know if you want to call it a moral position,
right,
but it's something that we all need to care about, take care of the earth, but also there's a there's a lot of money in it, and
Certainly.
there's a lot of premier stuff that comes with making a play for that.
What's the problem? They can be the same thing. Being sustainable and making money don't have to be opposing ends.
Nope, they don't. They absolutely don't. And a ton of industries are going for it. Everything from food and beverage is leading the way right now, but other businesses and other spaces are quickly following behind. It's in every area, everybody is moving towards this, and so Premier is getting ahead of the curve with what we do and who we partner with, in order to make sure that we're always staying in line with the trends and with what the customer wants.
I mean, we are having a good general conversation about it, which is something that everyone should be doing, and that we certainly are there for our customers to start, right?
Yeah, and absolutely. And as this continues to be something that grows, as technology improves, and as we get more and more products that achieve the ability to have same, performance in different spaces with it being a green thing. Areas where green is not involved in packaging and it will become involved.
Right.
We'll have more conversations about this in depth, about what Premier is doing and who we're partnering with and how we're utilizing that stuff. So this is a continuing conversation, as we said.
Certainly.
Sustainability is not going anywhere, and so
Yep.
it's going to be a conversation we continue to have.
Can't be solved in our little
on our tiny desk here.
little podcast.
No, it
but the
cannot.
desk is recyclable. So
The desk is
happy
fully
with that.
recyclable. We are sitting at a corrugated desk right now.
All right, so as normal, I think it's time for the what's in the box.
Let's see what's in the box.
What's in
Billy.
our recyclable corrugated box?
Fully
segment.
recyclable corrugated box. Let's see here.
Excuse me.
Oh, that's a pretty good one. I like that.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I do too.
Well, since it's Earth Day today,
Yep.
I thought we should bring up an Earth-related stat.
Okay.
A fun fact, if you will. Do you like
Okay.
fun facts?
Love them. Love them.
Can't wait to hear what you say about this.
Okay.
Billy, if you were to take a wild guess,
All right.
where do you think the best place in the world to see rainbows are?
I'm not a meteorologist. But I'm going to say, some place with a lot of waterfalls.
That's a good way to go. Typically, water is involved in a rainbow sighting. Hawaii. Have you been to Hawaii?
I have not. I've
not?
always wanted to go. How about you?
I have been a couple different times. My wife
wow.
has two places
Nice.
that she likes to go for vacation. It's Hawaii or Disneyland, and so she had a roommate that lived in Hawaii, so we've been there a couple times. So it's a great place, really beautiful.
Very
Big
nice.
Island is really great they have a whole waterfall, rainbow. I don't know, that's something that's named after it, where there's a ton of rainbows.
But something about the islands is
it's
conducive for
yes,
rainbows.
absolutely. If you're an avid rainbow gazer, that's what this is saying. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. I don't know if anybody's ever described themselves as an avid rainbow gazer, but anyways, basically, the state of Hawaii, the American Meteorology Society in 2021 noted that the mountains produce sharp gradients in clouds and rainfall, which are key to an abundant rainbow sightings. Also, because they're an island far away from everything else, air pollution, pollen, and large amount of cresting waves help put Hawaii at the top of the list when it comes to rainbow quality and quantity.
It's like a fun paragraph.
It was.
Not-
I went the extra
not a
mile for you
tidbit.
today on Earth Day. So
I am reminded of a fun fact that I know, not all of the particulars, but we're here in the great state of Kentucky. If you go to Cumberland Falls, you can see a moonbow.
Oh,
They call a moonbow. So it's like a rainbow that you see at night from the light of the moon.
that's delightful.
It is nice. You should check it out
I'll
sometime.
have to check it out sometime.
Certainly.
Well, speaking of time, that's all the time that we have for today. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in.
Yep.
Until next time, thanks for watching.